Welcome and thank you for being here to the 2025 Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce State of Education Luncheon. Thank you. Thanks, Mom. First and foremost, as we always do, we want to recognize our sponsors. None of this happens, this community does. We'd probably still figure out how to come together as a community if we didn't have sponsors, but it's so much nicer when we do. So thank you for stepping up and putting your brand along ours and making this event possible. We will show some videos throughout the program, giving you a deeper introduction to each of them. And speaking of which, let's start off with Ultra.
I love Ultra Goes Back Day. It's one of my favorite days out of the year.
I think this is just one of those examples of everybody building a community together, getting to volunteer with a group of employees that you don't always see very often, and getting to know them and helping out some of the different community events is awesome.
I'm really proud to work for a company that organizes opportunities like this to give back to the community.
Next, please help me welcome Smith County Commissioner Ralph Caraway, who will be giving our invocation.
Let us pray together. Eternal Father, we are so grateful for your loving kindness and tender mercy of this day. Lord, we especially thank you for our public school, our Tyler Independent School District. Thank you for our chamber. Thank you for the collection of this community that comes together to advance your kingdom. We pray for our superintendent. We pray for the school board, for their staffs, and for all of our educators that invest so deeply in the enrichment of our community. We thank you for all they give and all that they do. And Lord, we just ask that your graciousness will continue to rest in this community. And Father, that we will show you, because you have given us favor, how much we love you. And we thank you and we bless you now. In Jesus Christ's name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Commissioner Caraway. And speaking of public officials, it's now my pleasure to introduce elected officials and their representatives that are in attendance today. First of all, I'd like to introduce my good friend out of Senator Brian Hughes' office, Reese DeWoody. In attendance is Representative Daniel Alders. Thank you for being here today. From the 12th Court of Appeals, we have Chief Justice James Worthen, Justice Brian Hoyle, and Justice Michael Davis. From the City of Tyler, we have Mayor Don Warren, Councilman Lloyd Nichols, Councilwoman Shonda Marsh, and Councilman James Wynn and Councilman Stuart Haney. From Smith County, everybody's favorite judge, Neil Franklin, Commissioner John Moore, Commissioner Scott Harrod, and of course, Commissioner Ralph Caraway, I apologize. From the TISD Board of Trustees, we have President Yvonne Atkins, Lindsay Harrison, Andy Bergfeld, Aaron Martinez, Artis Newsom, and Alana Lucia. From the Chapel Hill Board of Trustees, here today we have Herschel Massenberg. And White House Trustee Kedrick Trimble. TJC Trustee David Hudson. And finally, Smith County Republican Party Chair, Mr. David Stein. Thank you all so much for what you do in the community and for being here today to celebrate this opportunity with you. Next, our second sponsor, we're going to show a video for Las Lomas.
Welcome to Las Lomas, a modern luxury manufactured housing community in Tyler, where comfort, community, and opportunity meet. At Las Lomas, every detail is designed to elevate the everyday. Enjoy our state-of-the-art fitness center, resort-style swimming pool, and plenty of room for family fun with playgrounds, basketball courts, dog parks, and gazebos. Work from home or host friends in style with our business center, conference room, community kitchen, and resident lounge. A perfect blend of work, play, and relaxation. Developed by First Step Homes, Texas' leading manufactured housing developer, Las Lomas was built on a simple mission: to redefine luxury living. With in-house financing and as little as 3% down, we are removing the barriers that keep so many families from owning a home. Because your first step toward home ownership should always be within reach. And Las Lomas is just one part of that vision. From Estancia Toro Perezoso in Oak Point to Los Caballos in Greenville, First Step Homes is redefining what luxury living looks like across Texas. Modern homes, vibrant neighborhoods, and a true sense of belonging. At Las Lomas, luxury living meets genuine community, and your journey toward homeownership starts here.
Thank you, Las Lomas. So now it's my pleasure to introduce our panel for today. And let me start here. At the annual meeting, I had the honor of throwing up my horns. I am a proud Longhorn. I'm also a proud Baylor Bear dad. So with the first introduction, an All-American baseball player at Baylor, I feel that I'm obliged to say, sic 'em Bears. I'd like to introduce Dr. Marty Crawford, Superintendent of Schools of the Tyler Independent School District. And we're going to have a video for him as well.
Growing with East Texas for nearly 100 years, TJC has helped students achieve their dreams while supporting local business and industry. Our students explain it best.
After serving in the Navy, I wanted to keep moving forward and continue growing, and education felt like the right next step, and that's what brought me to Tyler Junior College.
I knew I wasn't just attending a college, I was joining a community. This experience gave me the courage to step outside of my comfort zone and get involved.
TJC has been instrumental in giving me unexpected experiences and leadership roles. The small class sizes and intimate student body allow me to make connections with passionate professors who enable me to connect the classroom with real-world experiences.
TJC offers endless opportunities for students to explore their passions and achieve their goals. Whether you're interested in health sciences, arts and humanities, STEM, skilled trade, or any other pathway, there's something here for everyone.
With more than 135 degree and certificate programs, a record fall enrollment of nearly 13,000, averaging 20,000 annually, TJC is uniquely positioned to help students achieve their dreams and to help East Texas businesses meet their workforce needs now and into the next 100 years.
TJC is more than just academics. It's a launchpad. From helpful career services to supportive professors who genuinely care, this place sets you up to succeed. If you're thinking about skipping college, don't. You never know what doors it could open. It definitely changed my life.
Okay, so that did have Tyler.
So what does it mean to be part of?
Hold on for a second. That did have Tyler in the headline, but it wasn't Tyler ISD. That was obviously Tyler Junior College. So now I get to put my feathers up. And as part of our panel, we are having we're proud to have the most recent Distinguished Alumni Recipient Award from Texas A&M University Kingsville, Go Javelinas. Dr. Juan Mejia, that was Dr. Mejia, that was for you. Do we have the TISD video that we could play for? Did I interrupt it?
So what does it mean to be part of a hometown school district?
Take you to a place not everybody knows. Good old days, a place to feel at home. School halls and stories on our walls. A place where we end up and where we started. Where we started, the seeds we've sown. It's our home.
It's about making new friends. Now pay attention.
And catching up with old ones.
It means working for the win.
And never giving up when it's difficult.
It means programs that spark passion.
And opportunities that open doors.
It means reaching for the stars and shining in the spotlight.
It's about fostering a safe environment for students to learn.
And delivering the nourishment to support it.
It means celebrating every milestone, big or small.
In this red dirt pine curtain, all of our people are in love for certain with the way we family. We teach our kids to learn to love out there. Love out there. Seeds we've sown, and it's our home.
All right, and the third member of our distinguished panel today is our president of the University of Texas at Tyler, Dr. Julie Findley. If anybody has any questions about non-tuberculosis, mycobacteriae, bronchiectasis, she's your person. And she does have a video. So as you can see, a lot of amazing things going on in the state of education in East Texas, and as usual, Tyler's leading the way. As our panelists come up, I'd like to introduce our moderator for today, Mr. Scott Martinez. Scott is the president of the Tyler Economic Development Council and the CEO of the Tyler Area Chamber of Commerce. Scott, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much, and thanks for the invitation to moderate this wonderful panel today. I'm really not sure how qualified I am to do this. I'm a product of Mississippi Public Schools, but I'll do the best I can. So let's start with you, my good friend, Marty Crawford. The district launched its Next Is Now initiative in August. What does that entail?
Well, you know, we started thinking last year when we had this burst of enrollment. We nearly have 19,000 students here now. I think when I got here 12 years ago, we were, you know, just under 18,000 or right at 18,000. You started kind of figuring out that what the demographers have predicted may start becoming true, that East Texas is the next top corner instead of the Texas Triangle, that they're coming, that they're moving to East Texas. That's one thing we always talk about. Ron Jones, our deputy superintendent here, is they're coming, right, Rojo? And they're here. And we did a study, and that 85% of those, that boosted in enrollment of about 700 kids in 1 year, and then another 100 kids this year, about, give or take 50 or so. Where are they coming from? And 85% of those came from other public school systems outside of East Texas. Demographically, it's about the same as far as the racial makeup goes. It might tilt a demographic or two, but in saying that, that's what's coming. And setting Tyler ISD up to make sure that we're competing educationally, taking care of accountability in the A through F system, of course, so you can be proud of your schools and the labels that we earn every year, competing there, but looking at some of the innovative things that we can do, like this is the medical hub of East Texas, and our next big thing, one of our Next Is Now initiatives is a biomedtech magnet school for grades 3 through 12. We've got the incredible blue ribbon rated Caldwell Arts Academy. Y'all should be very proud of that. Sure, we've got Birdwell Immersion School, to where it's a dual language immersion school. Both of those are A-rated schools. We've got more MST magnet. Aubrey Ballard, the principal there, it's an A-rated middle school with a math, science, and technology magnet in it. It also goes along with our first A-rated elementary school, comprehensive school, north of Front Street at Bonner. The Bonner A's, not the Bonner B's, but they're the Bonner A's now, right? There's some good things that are going on here, but we need to be able to compete innovatively, long-term down the road, and that's one of the things that we're looking at is expanding some of the choice and experiences that we have for our students. That's what Next Is Now. We can't wait for 50 years when everybody finally gets here. We got to set our citizenry up in the future and our future workforce up, and that's what we're really focusing on.
Very good. Very good. You know, economic development and education is so closely related. One of my favorite quotes is that education is to economic development what fertilizer is to a farmer. So I think we've got great fertilizer in our town.
Thanks for comparing us to that. That's that Mississippi education right there, right?
Absolutely. Dr. Mejia, my good friend Dr. Mejia. Tyler Junior College was established in 1926, almost 100 years ago. Congratulations. I want to start with just congratulating you and your institution on that great milestone. While we generally categorize TJC as an institution of higher learning, can you briefly define what is a junior community college?
Thank you, Scott, so very much, and Julie and Marty, what an honor to share this panel. Thank you to Dr. Crawford for opening the doors to include the higher ed partners in this. It is a great community that we live in. So community colleges, I would like to say, are among the greatest United States American invention. Prior to 1901, access to higher education sometimes was just limited to a select few who could pursue higher education. The United States said we need another system that can create a pathway toward the workforce or to continue education at a senior university, and in 1901, community colleges were formed. Lo and behold, soon there were 1,200 community colleges. At this time, there are about 1,000 community colleges throughout the United States and Canada. Why a drop in number? Because there are communities that are not thriving. There are societies that are not growing. There are community colleges that are dying, educational systems that are dying, and we know that there's a direct correlation, as Scott just shared, between educational preparedness and how well a community does. There's a direct correlation between workforce preparation and economic development, degree attainment and social upward mobility and regional prosperity. And we are very blessed to be in this community that is pro-education. That is, they talk about when people come together, great things can happen, and it happens the best way here in our greater Tyler area, because TJC is the Tyler Chamber. Juan Mejia, I am the Tyler Chamber. This is our chamber. This is the work that we do. So community colleges are, for the most part, there's about 1,000 out there. In the state of Texas, there are 50 public community colleges. So there are another 49 that are labeled as community colleges, but there's only one Tyler Junior College. Number one, because of the community that we live in, as I just shared, the partnerships we have amongst us here on the panel, but also with many of you here in this room, and the commitment to the vision that was so true. So very briefly, in 1920, leaders came together and said, let's create that community college here in the greater Tyler area, and Tyler Junior College was formed. It's hard to believe that here we're ready to celebrate 100 years, and what is important to us is the honoring of the values of this community, but keeping a forward-looking mindset as to what we need to do and what we need to position ourselves at. What is our priorities? Getting our students to come in. We're open access, so any student, we believe that education, outside of faith, education is the greatest equalizer. And if we can change a life, the nucleus of society is the family. The nucleus of society is the family. And if we can change one person, we can change that family for the better. So community colleges are that open enrollment. We take every student, and our goal is to make him as successful as possible so that we can meet the needs of business and industry of this community, have him transferred to our partner university, or have him just going straight into the workforce as mentioned.
Very good. Thank you so much. Dr. Philly, what are the biggest challenges facing higher education? And how is UT Tyler positioning itself to stay competitive and relevant?
Well, thank you, Scott. And I just want to say, too, I always have to take the moment to just say I'm a TJC alumnus and alum. And I think one of the things TJC did for me growing up in East Texas was gave me the confidence to move to the next step. And I hope that UT Tyler's doing that for people as they move along their career trajectory. The biggest challenges, the things we think about, are the things we're also blessed with. I think the three of us up here on the stage, many people are struggling with enrollment across the nation, and we are not. Our city is growing, our region is growing. I hope our value proposition is growing, but we have to stay ahead of that, and we are dependent on our enrollment for our initiatives, and so we think about enrollment. We also think about affordability. Affordability in higher education is something we talk about. How do we pay for this, and is it worth paying for? And so the things like the Patriot Promise that we have, the TJC Promise, some of the dual credit activities, all of these things are making higher education more affordable for our citizens. And then the thing I think that UT Tyler thinks about every day, and I'm grateful for our team that's here in these front two tables, is how do we stay relevant? How do we stay ahead of the times? How do we make sure that someone comes into our doors and leaves a different person for the better because they came to UT Tyler? And those are the things we think about every day. We threw up a slide about our new master plan and our strategic plan. It's really simple. We care about students and their success. We still think that a face-to-face or an online interaction with a teacher makes a big difference in your life. So teaching excellence is our second pillar. And the third is how do we serve East Texas?
Very good. Thank you so much. Dr. Crawford, I saw our good friend Daniel Alders in the audience today. And what's the most pressing issue the 89th legislature exacerbated that faces East Texas' largest school system?
Well, to provide a legislative update from this last session, we probably need a different luncheon because it was K-12 public ed centric. And, fortunately, we do have state reps, we always have, that will take phone calls. I don't ever experience the stories that I hear from other superintendents not being able to get access to their state reps or their state senator. And I can say that Senator Hughes and Representative Alders, and before him, Representative Schaefer, and even Representative Hefner, have always been able to take a phone call and understand some of the predicaments that we get put in that may make policy from a state make sense, but here locally, that's what we're worried about, right? And so we could go on and on about some things, but I think the thing that we can talk about that's the most pressing for us is teacher preparation and having enough certified teachers to put in front of our kiddos. That has been a thing that has been brewing for the last 20 years. And a dozen years ago, we probably carried anywhere from 30 to 40 vacant positions at the beginning of a school year until the legislature decided to allow school districts to start hiring individuals, college degreed, so a professional, to plug some of those gaps. Well, in a decade's time, that has become bad policy just out of the blue. We would all like a trained teacher coming out of college teacher certification programs, but that's just not the way of the world right now. You've got the back end of the baby boomer generation and the front end of Gen X that can retire right now, and that's where the concentration of certified teachers are at. And we don't have enough backfill to be able to meet new legislation that says that you can no longer carry those just degreed professionals that are not teacher certified. So next year, Mr. Jones, it's our chief of staff that's responsible for finding these teachers. We're having to hurry up and get these people expedited as far as certifications through alternative certifications like Region 7 certification program or other alternative certified programs. So that thing blindsided us overnight. There was talk during the session. The Commissioner of Education doesn't really care for that, and I agree that we need more certified teachers in front of our kids. But going back to where you're going to have this gap and this large delta between certified and those that aren't certified, I fear that we're going to go back to the days of having 25 to 30 vacancies, and we're putting a substitute teacher in there instead of at least a degreed professional that's trying to become certified in teaching. And I know Daniel has other committee responsibilities. He's not part of the public ed education committee. And that was something that really did blindside us, and they sped that up. We were thinking 2030, we would have some time to go ahead and get that taken care of. Is that right, HR people, school district people that are here? But it's next year for your elementary age kids, and then 2029, I guess, for your secondary, 2027 for your system. They've actually sped it up even more. So that's a pressing issue for us that's real, outside of some of the other rhetoric that was out there for funding and for vouchers and some of the other maybe morally conservative legislation that they did put in there for us, that I think some of that stuff's beneficial because we need to stay out of some of that game, that culture war game that's out there. They did a good job, I think, Daniel, just to tell you right here, to put some policies in place that would take some of that out of the schools, put it back in the home and on the dinner table. So you're to be applauded for that. But this teacher vacancy issue that we've got is tough. Now, you're going to say, what are you going to do about it, Marty? Well, I'm looking at my colleagues up here, especially the one to the right, and redesigning teacher preparation and some initiatives that we've got coming through our Next Is Now initiative and some of the partnerships at UT Tyler, Summit, TJC, as far as workforce goes. We're going to really emphasize those things. We already have great partnerships with UT Tyler and TJC. Think about our early college high school. A-rated high school, highest rated high school in East Texas, another blue ribbon school in Tyler ISD. Ms. Hortman's over there. We've got that partnership with TJC. Now we're going to go into the teacher preparation side of things and do some innovative things, have it funded through a lot of allotments and grants through TEA. We're not one of those that are just resistant to the education agency or resistant to anything legislative just because of who's in power right now. These are things that are going to help us grow our own teachers, starting in Tyler ISD, getting to TJC, maybe through early college, hopefully, yes, through early college, and then getting them over to UT Tyler while they're getting their experiences inside of Tyler ISD as far as apprenticeships go, and real apprenticeships, paid apprenticeships. So if any of y'all would like your name on the fellowship program that we're going to have, please contact me and Dr. Philly.
I'll take the call.
There you go. Okay, there you go.
And I'm sure Mitch Andrews will take a call.
Yeah.
Very good. So, Dr. Mejia, what makes TJC among the very best and the best community college in the country?
You know, Jim Perkins, that's a quote by Jim Perkins. He says, the #1 community college in the country. One time we were in Austin and we were going to be surrounded by university presidents, college presidents, and Jim was going to speak. And I did tell Jim, I said, Mr. Perkins, I'm very flattered, but maybe tone it down a little bit or they're going to beat me up on the way out. So Mr. Perkins said, Juan Mejia told me not to say that they're the #1 community college in the country. That was Jim. What makes us successful is, I'll go through our pillars very quickly. We believe in educational excellence, in stellar services, in innovation, and in authentic partnerships. And I'd like to celebrate the 4th one today, the authentic partnerships we have with Dr. Philly and her team, with Dr. Crawford and his team, with other leaders from other school districts. I saw Superintendent Dean here and his team, and the list goes on. It's authentic partnerships where we all walk away and feel like, you know what, we feel good about that partnership. We don't want to just take, we want to give back to this community. So making real the values of the college and the pillars of excellence that have made us help families transform for the better. Currently, something that's very important throughout the state and country is workforce, is getting graduates into the right place so that they can have gainful employment and be able to go shop. You say it best, Scott, where they can tithe. What is it? You have your 3 things. You want them to put food on the table, tithe, and something else.
Their kids.
That's
we
right.
Don't want naked
So
kids running around.
we want our graduates to do well. And the partnerships we have with business and industry, and I'd like to celebrate one today, LTS. LTS, EDC did a survey that demonstrated that a high % of the companies here were in need of forklift operators. That was Scott Martinez and his team that did that survey. Instead of just looking at it and not doing anything with it, we got together, mobilized, and developed the first forklift operator program in North America, not just in our county or the state, in North America. I saw Jimmy Head here earlier, and Jimmy came forward, Mr. Murphy came forward, Walter came forward, and our team came forward, and then we will be launching the first forklift technician program in North America. There are other states that were, because of this, Toyota invited us to be center stage, and thanks to our friend Scott Martinez, who shared the video at the recent EDC meeting. So this is not here. That was in Indianapolis, talking about work that we're doing right here and right now. To quote the poets, Sammy Hagar and Eddie Van Halen, the late Eddie Van Halen, it's about right here, right now. Somebody else can address what the needs are in California or Florida. I'm not gonna worry, New York. My focus and my priorities are here. My competition and our competition is not the powerhouse UT Tyler, because we have a partnership with them. Our competition is indifference by students, uncertainty, insecurities. But if we work together, we can get our students to come through and be successful, and not long from now, be sitting in the chairs where you and I are sitting right here, leading our chamber, leading our EDCs. So I believe some of that success is, again, that focus on the mission that's so important. I'm a fan of Stephen Covey, and I read that book. I read it every year, The 7 Habits and Mission Statements. So knowing what we stand for, knowing what we will not compromise, has helped the college to be successful.
So, Dr. Mejia, in the 99-year history of Tyler Junior College, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the first semester where you've had over 50% of your student body that were doing workforce training?
You're absolutely correct. So junior colleges, for the most part, started as, again, that basic workforce, and then the transfer to senior universities. Our student demographic has changed to students going into the workforce. We opened a program in welding, and they'll be closed before we hit enter. Those programs get filled. The Toyota program we talked about, forklift operators and training, it's already full all the way to January. So there's a great dire need for us to prepare the workforce that's going to lead to gainful employment, because our focus is to meet the needs of this community and to serve business and industry. And those numbers are changing, Scott.
Very good, thank you. Dr. Philly, how is the university aligning its academic programs with the current and future workforce needs of our region?
Thank you. I think, and again, you have to ask the right questions. What does the region really need? Not what it's nice to have, but what do we need? What do the citizens need? And how do we take care of our own? And I think I want to echo, again, the colleagues on the stage, and I've heard it so many times in the community and for many of you in this room, and that is no one is coming for us. And that is, if we work together, we can actually take care of our own and produce the workforce, no matter how high of an education that is perceived, to do that. And I think the medical school is a good example of that. I think that, if we had talked about this a couple of decades ago, someone would have said that may just not be possible for a place like Tyler or East Texas. And it's through working together in this room and outside of this room, through, people like Kevin Eltife, our elected officials, so many of our community supporters, that we've been able to achieve that. And I think that, for UT Tyler, that's kind of the symbol of a game changer of what can we not accomplish if we can start a medical school, what can we not do? So specifically related to the healthcare workforce, just in the past, 5 years, we have started, or have announced the plans to start a registered nurse anesthetist program, a CRNA program, where we just started enrolling this fall, a master's in speech language pathology, an acute care nurse practitioner program, a simulated flight nursing school that's out on our North Campus out at 271. We've also announced plans to start a new physician's assistance program in Longview, and many other things that are in the works, things like physical therapy and other things, because really I think we've proven to ourselves that if the region needs it, we can produce it right here. We just can't do it alone. And we don't have to, because we do have so many resources and so many good colleagues to work with to be able to produce that workforce. It's not all about healthcare. I know that's my background, but our Souls College of Business is producing the accountants we need, the majors in finance and other things that really can drive business and produce good jobs, as you always mentioned, Scott. And then, all of the other things like engineering and the liberal arts and fine arts are so important to the life of a college. But going back to Dr. Crawford, we have to do our part to address this teacher crisis. And we have to be held responsible for setting the goals for what we need to do and then really delivering. Because again, no one's gonna come for us, but I do think we have every resource imaginable to be able to inspire the next generation of teachers, which I think there's still plenty out there personally, and double down, plant our feet, and work together to make it an improved situation that we're gonna be facing in the upcoming decades.
Good. You mentioned healthcare. Can you give us an update on the exciting growth within the UT Tyler School of Medicine and Midtown's new medical education building?
Oh, I sure can. So first of all, we're recruiting right now, doing interviews for our 4th class for the med school. Just as a reminder, to those of you in the room, it's 40 students per year. You have to have good grades and good test scores, that's a given, but you also have to have some geographic tie or something to East Texas, such that we believe that you really care about our citizens and meet our pillar of serving East Texas. And so I'm very excited. Right now we have the facilities at the North Campus, which is the facility out at 271, the Health Science Center, the old Chest Hospital. The new building, many of you have driven by it downtown, 250,000 square feet. The building is beautiful. As my colleague Daniel in the room says, it wasn't built for East Texas, it was built with East Texas. So many different companies have helped work and had a hand in designing it and constructing it. We're so excited to open it. Students will actually start there after the first of the year, but part of the building is clinical services for training. So there's operating rooms and imaging and women's service lines and lots of other things. And so we'll do a staged approach to that. We'll have a groundbreaking or a ribbon cutting. We're breaking so much ground, I keep saying that. Ribbon cutting. At the end of April, the full building will be finished this summer, and we're so excited.
Wow,
And I just cannot say thank you enough to Chairman Kevin Eltife, to, again, all of the support that we've received locally and statewide to make these dreams a reality. I do think that this will change the lives of East Texans for decades.
Thank you so much. That's so exciting. From my vantage point, I can tell a lot about the panelists' personalities by their footwear. Dr. Mejia, will you share with them your boots and what's on your boots?
Oh, my boots, yeah. They have roses in there, as you can tell, Scott, yeah.
and of course, Marty, show them your kicks.
Well, I used to wear boots all the time. And as I get older, it kind of hurts your back when you wear them all the time. So I was watching an NFL game a few years ago, and the owner of the New England Patriots, who's like 80, was rocking these Air Force Ones with a suit on. And I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. So 6 Super Bowl rings, superintendent of Tyler ISD, it's very comparable right there. So yeah, I've spent a little money on it, but man, they're comfortable. I highly recommend it, by the way. Claude Henry, if you want to wear Air Force Ones to be a banker, be a president of a bank here at TBT, you have permission to do so, sir.
I just want to stick to the script, if that's okay.
And the class of the group, no offense, guys.
Prada? I have nothing to add, really.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. We're running a little ahead of time. So, Marty, what can your local Chamber of Commerce membership do to continue its support of Tyler's hometown school system?
Well, first I want to say I usually do this whatever we have here, whether it be convocation over in the sanctuary or this event in this room. Thanks to Green Acres Baptist Church for being able to have this venue open for us. As I tell our staff, man, leave it better than you found it, because there's not a whole lot of space. We have a great Brookshire Center, but for an intimate, quaint little opportunity like this to share in a very personalized fashion, this is a perfect facility. And being able to partner with Green Acres is certainly something that we're very blessed to have here. As far as the chamber goes, to quote an incredible character from Hollywood, we were using all these quotes of these great philosophers. There was a movie back in the 80s. There was a catcher named Crash Davis who went on and I think ran Yellowstone Ranch. It's Kevin Costner. And so during that movie, he was having a problem with his pitcher trying to call the game, and he's the catcher, by golly, he's going to call the game. So he tells the batter what's coming to prove a point to his own teammate. And he told that guy, he said, "Charlie, when you speak of me, speak well." It applies to this. I mean, the work has to be done by those that y'all have empowered and hired to do. And we love our partnerships, but we have the accountability and responsibility to educate the kiddos of Tyler, Texas. And by the way, we're doing a pretty good job of it. We haven't talked a lot about that, but in this marketplace of choice, when you start talking about college preparation, that's always been the knock against public schools when you look at all the other choices. Well, 85% of the AP tests that we give, Dr. Philly, we score better than our charter, public, and private peers across the state. So we are college preparatory. I could give you some other talking points as well, but certainly I mentioned some of our A-rated campuses, the most A-rated campuses and B-rated campuses combined in an accountability year than we've ever had since the inception of that. So we are trending in the right direction on that until they reset the system again, right? And reset the goal lines, or the goalposts. But I'm just saying, I don't think anything ever does anyone any good to fill your political dopamine or your personal dopamine to get online and to say bad things about people and to create rumors and falsehoods out there in regard to whatever goals you're trying to accomplish. So, man, if you've got an issue and you need to address that with one of us, please do it in person. Don't sit behind a keyboard and do it, and say good things about us. Definitely don't call our attorneys. They're here today. And some of y'all have. I say this every time that they're here, because when y'all do that, they do what? They get over that button that says, begin billing now. And I always tell folks that when they call them instead, I'm giving them a hard time, the Hardy Boys over there. They do good work for us. But in saying that, they're the best lawyers your tax dollars can buy. So if you think you're getting at us by calling them, that's your back pocket that's getting hit. Call us and we'll try to help you the best we can. I think that's one thing we've proven over the last decade is we are accessible. If I don't have the answer for you, I can certainly get you in touch with someone that's a subject matter expert that can take care of your needs on that. And I think that's the way to do that. That's the way to combat some of the things that are out there is to let's speak well about what we've got going on here in Tyler, Texas. We're so blessed to be your hometown school district and to share the name of this great city and this great chamber. So thank you for what you do for us.
Dr. Mejia, can you share what some of TJC's priorities are going forward?
Yes,
and
I'm going to
help you as a chamber.
Of course, I'm going to do another quote like Dr. Crawford here. I'm going to quote the great philosopher Nacho Libre. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. We live in the greatest community anywhere in the country, without a doubt. My wife and I came and visited in 2012, and we were here one evening, one part of a day. Trustee Licea and I had dinner along with Mike Coker and a few others and fell in love with this place. I told my wife, I'm leaving you. I'm going to Tyler. But no, we were not divorcing. We were just moving to Tyler. But we had a house and dogs and cats in McAllen, and she had to stay back a little bit. Fell in love with this place, and all of you are here. Margaret Mead said that never doubt that a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. A small group of thoughtful and committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. The greatest movement of faith was started by a small group who left empty nets at the water's edge. The greatest country in the world is here because of a small group wrote, and we pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Going forward, I believe that's what we need in this community to emerge. I love what Dr. Crawford has said, what Dr. Philly has said. It's about let's work together. We don't need to be pushing people down to lift ourselves up. Let's lift ourselves up so that when we go to Austin, we go with one voice. When we go to our communities, we go in unison. We have a great job by our mayor, Don Warren, the policymakers group that comes together to look at how do we work together to positively affect change. Right now, one of our pressing priorities is we have run out of space at Tyler Junior College. That's a good problem to have. That is a great problem to have. We have demand, students wanting to pursue their education, students that maybe have otherwise not have considered it, but now they're saying we want to be here, and the last thing we want to do is say, hey, we're going to put you on a waiting list for next semester. We're not going to do that. We're going to figure out ways. We've already strategized the best we can, but we're looking at growing and continuing to grow the best that we can. So going forward, we're going to need leaders all around this room to help and support, to guide us, to work with us, not on us, as Dr. Crawford and Dr. Julie Philly said. Come let us know how we can work better together. I don't think we've ever not returned a call or an email from anybody that will write and say, I've got a question, I've got a suggestion, I've got an idea. We want to explore those. Our goal is to be the #1 junior college, and therefore we can quote Mr. Jim Perkins and everybody else in the country. And that's going to happen by our performance indicators. How well we help students to transition to the universities and successful, how well they go into gainful employment. Our students and our graduates are our signature of authenticity. And there are many alumni here in this room who have gone through Tyler Junior College. I'm honored to serve you through my role as the 7th president. In 100 years, there's been only 7 presidents, and I'm number 7. I was hoping it was number 7 because it's my favorite number. Scott, I was really hoping like there would be a chance here. So I don't have a backup plan. I love this community. I really don't. I love this community. David Hudson, please keep me along for a little longer because I don't have a backup plan. This is my home. This is the community that I want to serve, and we're going to do it better by working together.
So Dr. Philly, I'm going to pose the same question to you. What can we do? What can the chamber members and the chambers do to make UT Tyler better and even more successful?
Well, I think that's the beauty of living in Tyler and living in East Texas is we do support each other, and I do think we can provide constructive feedback to help each other improve and hold each other accountable. At the end of the day, we in leadership have to deliver for our citizens. And a big part of what I do every day is saying no to a lot of really great ideas. And as I gave a talk last night, I say no to some bad ideas too, but we have resources that we have to direct toward a common goal. And I always go back to our common goal. It's about students. It just has to be about students and their success and making sure that we're excellent in our lives of service. And so I think the chamber is a very similar, it's a very similar concept. I think what the chamber does is the same thing for Tyler that we try to do at our organization, and that's work together for the common good for people and keep our eye on the ball.
Wonderful. Well, will y'all give a pause for our panelists? I mean, we're very blessed to have three great leaders here in our community. And I apologize about the fertilizer remark. I didn't mean it in that context. I meant it in the context of growth and prosperity. So I didn't mean it the way you took it, Dr. Crawford.
Hey, Scott, congratulations on Ole Miss's year this year.
And congratulations on you wearing their colors on your shoes.
Yeah, I know. And may you get to keep your coach.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't matter whether it's horns up, gig 'em, sick 'em.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about Baylor football this year.
Up.
No, not this year.
All that matters is hotty-totty.
Yeah. Hey, don't we have a great president of our Tyler Economic Development Corporation here? CEO, whatever your title is. Thanks, Scott, for having us up here. And thanks to Dr. Mejia and Dr. Philly for getting up here as well. Y'all have been tired of hearing the same old story from the superintendent of schools in Tyler ISD. It's not TISD, troops down the road, but Tyler ISD. Thank y'all for allowing us to do this. I hope that the trinity of us can get up here, speaking of being here in Green Acres, the trinity of us could be up here, no pun intended, could be up here and doing this, and this is something that we start annually, so you're not always listening to the superintendent of schools for Tyler ISD. We need to know what's going on in our other institutions as well, and to take a little bit of pressure off the superintendent, right? So thank y'all for having us today. Scott, thanks for having us.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
It's important to understand that everybody has the ability to advocate. When you care about an issue like public education, there's so many different opportunities, whether it's with us at Raise Your Hand Texas or with the community at large, to find ways to partner, to get involved in the policymaking process on public education concerns, to work with legislators, and really make a difference. At the state legislative level, it does not take a lot to be able to partner with folks. The barrier to entry is very low.
In a room full of advocates, you have a lot of individuals with different passions, different backgrounds, cultures, careers, things like that. When you put them all together, we're all there for a common purpose. We're all there to speak the same language, and we're all there to be representatives for others.
It's giving a voice or amplifying a voice for people who don't necessarily get the opportunity to have their voices amplified. For me, comes in a long line of tradition, being a Black woman, hearing the stories from my own family, as well as from our tradition of advocating and amplifying your voice to see change, to see positive movement and positive impacts throughout your community. So it's what it means to me to be an advocate.
Our dream for grassroots advocacy at Raise Your Hand is a strong, powerful network of public education supporters who can inform and move our elected officials at the state level, ultimately to support creating the best public schools possible for our kids.
So people often ask me, were you born and raised here? And I used to, I've fallen in love with this community so much. I used to say, no, I wish I was. But at one point, not too long ago, someone asked me that again. And I thought, I'm kind of glad, and this is why. Because I've lived other places. I've seen how other communities are. And I know that they're not like this. This is special. So let me tell you, if you were born and raised here, you've never seen other places, you never lived in Dallas, you never lived in Austin, don't take it for granted, because this is a special place to be. And yeah, clap for that. And it's days like this where I'm reminded of it, and I get a lot of days like this. So it's special. And the reason why I feel that way, and I think what was demonstrated here, I learned recently at another event here in town that one of the major ways you move from scarcity to abundance is you have the ability to move from competition to participation and partnership. And I think we heard that a lot today, is that we are not competing with one another. We are partnering with one another to make everybody better. And that is why in Tyler, Texas, we get to live in a state of abundance. So thank you, Dr. Philly. Thank you, Dr. Crawford. Thank you, Dr. Mejia, for your time today. Thank you so much. As I'm thanking people, thanks again to our sponsors, Ultra, Los Lomos, and Raising Hands. Let's give them another round of applause. And finally, thank you for being here. You've decided to show up and choose to make Tyler a better place. It was said a little bit earlier, we want to leave things better than we found them, and it's the people in this room that are going to help us do that. A few upcoming events that we want to make sure that you're aware of. We've got a business after hours coming up November 21st, 5 to 7 p.m. at the East Texas Food Bank. I would encourage you to be there. The drawing is up to $4,000, I think. You have to be there to win. I wake up at night in sweats thinking I would have won, but I wasn't there. So show up for that one. We also have Dr. Ray Perryman coming up, the annual Perryman Economic Outlook in January 9th at the W.T. Brookshire Conference Center. And then finally, the Business Expo is going to be on February 20th, also at the W.T. Brookshire Conference Center. Thanks again so much. Be safe as you go, and let's leave things better than we found them. Thank you.